Business and financial expert Nick Bontis is here. Nick, $11 billion. Yeah. That is a lot of dough for Brazil. Does that pay off in the long run to host an event like that?
It's a big price tag, Nick. Yeah. And, you know, it does cost $11 billion, but the expected economic impact is $13 billion. So there's a little bit of a wiggle room to actually make a profit. But Brazil will probably just break even, which is what happened in 2010 with South Africa. The real winner in a World Cup is actually FIFA, the organizing. The organization actually will take in $4 billion worth of revenue. And then they take those proceeds and they distribute them among all the soccer federations that compete. So if you win the World Cup, you will actually get $35 million for your soccer federation, and Brazil will benefit in the long run with all the tourism and the stadium infrastructure that they're building.
All right, of course, there's a bit of worry about some of them may not actually be built on time, but they still have a week to go, so I'm sure they're working around the clock. But overall, you talked about the $13 billion impact overall. That's in Brazil, right?
Yeah, that's
What about back here? Because like we said, people are going to be at bars and restaurants watching the games, cheering on their fans, buying food, buying drinks. Is there a local bump in the economy when the World Cup is on?
Yeah, there actually is. It's called the World Cup effect. And there's two sides to the World Cup effect. There's actually the bump that occurs in places that you mentioned, Nick, restaurants, bars, clubs, merchandisers. And don't forget, the games this year are going to be every day from at 12, 3, and 6. So they're during the day, and they don't conflict with the NBA playoffs at night or the NHL playoffs at night, for example. The opposite side of the World Cup effect, of course, is the productivity loss of people watching the games at 12, 3, and 6 and not being at work doing the job they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, 6 o'clock doesn't really work for me at all. I hope they're watching here rather than there, but I do understand. Got to ask you quickly, do you have a favorite team?
I do. I'm Greek after all, but they're not going to win it.
Can they afford a team?
They can't afford a team. Okay. Economic crisis is almost over.
All right, that's good to hear. All right, moving to something else we covered this week, and it's got a European connection. Sweden is introducing a 6-hour workday. We looked at whether or not we should give it a try here. The economy is doing well in Sweden, despite sort of looking at this. Is this a good idea, productivity-wise, etc.? Are workers better like that?
Well, the research is actually out on this, and there are other countries that have very, very low hours per week. For example, Holland, the average is 29 hours a week. Denmark and Norway is 33 hours a week. So you would assume that with lower hours they would be more productive, but the reality is all those countries that I just mentioned have the highest literacy rates. They have the highest investment in education. They're very, very smart and productive people. So it seems that they can actually do more with less time.
That's pretty impressive. Doing more with less. Good for the Swedes. I'm not sure that'll ever happen here, but I guess people who want that can hope. Nick, thanks for that. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you next week on election night, right?
On election night,
Looking forward to it. Thanks very much.